Good morning, everyone. There's a section in the Haggadah, right after the exciting Manishtana of Adam Ayinu, four sons, and right before the 10 plagues. This little part, if you remember, that most of us read through very quickly. It depends on your Seder. Some might skip it, make an excuse, they have to take care of the kids, or whatever it is, not to be there. It's because we're saying a lot of verses. And we start off with saying, our forefathers were idol worshippers. And then we speak about Abraham recognizing God, and then Jacob going down to Egypt, and the slavery, and different verses to coincide with the different time and episodes what was going on. And then we finally get to the 10 plagues. The commentators want to know, why do we have this section? But more importantly, why do we start off with something negative? Why do we start off our forefathers were idol worshippers? Why do we speak about the slavery in such detail? Why not just say, Abraham recognized God, and God took us out of Egypt, and we became his nation, and talk about the 10 plagues? Why do we talk about all this negative? And the Talmud actually tells us, it says you have to maschel b'gnus, you have to start with gnus, with something negative, something bad, Messiah and finish with something good, something positive. What's the idea? There's many different ideas. I want to share with you something very powerful. And that is that sometimes we get so complacent in where we are, we don't really truly appreciate what we have. We don't recognize the awesomeness of our growth. We don't recognize what someone else is giving us because we become complacent of how things have been. So what do we have to do? We have to go back and say, hey, it wasn't like this all the time. We have to go ahead and say, hey, you remember our forefathers were idol worshippers. Look where we are now. To remind us to continue to grow. It wasn't always like this. Abraham worked hard to get to this place. The Jewish people worked hard after the exodus of Egypt to receive the Torah and to move forward. The same thing with gratitude. It wasn't always that we were able to have an abundance of things. There was slavery. There was hardship. More relevant to us, there was a Holocaust. There was bombings in Israel. There was COVID this past year. So when we get complacent, we forget about the good that we've had. We need a little wake-up call. So we try to do it ourselves. We say, hey, remember it wasn't that good, so we're so grateful that it's good. Hey, remember you weren't always on the level you are now. Wow, look, I've grown so much, there's so much more that I can do. That's the idea of maschel b'gnus and Messiah. So we do that during the Haggadah to remind us of this such an important idea. Wishing everyone a beautiful day.